So you'd be able to consume what's in there as beer. He's got some form of beer in there, basically.
Yep. That's the fermented barley that he's got in there.
The same mix that we did yesterday.
Similar kind of mix, I do believe.
Yeah, you can grab the other fitting there and hook it onto the red valve there. The red valve. Yeah, these are TC. And it's plugged into the side of the panel. Oh, we might have to get the air off and get the
Is there a reason you're going to be looking for the side of the panel?
What's that?
Is there a special reason why you put stuff on the side of the panel?
I put that plug there. You want to turn on the agitator for the F1?
Essentially, it's all mentions.
Anyway.
That's off gas and CO2 right now.
Yeah.
Is there ventilation requirements or is it
Yes. Yeah, they're getting to be very stringent on venting. It's getting to be kind of a real pain, especially electrical inspectors are just being nasty with everybody. Yeah. They want ethanol sensors and all kinds of stuff put in. They want everything explosion proof, which is just asinine. It's dumb. But I have lots of ventilation. It's a large room. It's no issue here.
If you could prove you had sufficient, if not excessive, ventilation.
We got really excessive ventilation and they're making us have an explosion-proof room.
Really?
Wherever the still in the bottling line is and any chance of having 95% alcohol, we literally had to fight our explosion rate the whole surrounding area. And the glass room that our still is in, the glass costs more than the still because it's explosion-proof. So that if 185 people are eating, they all don't explode. It's something that can't explode.
Is it encased on the ceiling as well?
Oh yeah, like it's...
No.
Is that code or is that...
That was code, yeah. That was what the fire inspectors wanted.
How about the shutters?
Oh yeah, and I have shutters now. They had to make us get shutters on top of it. That if any fire alarm trips in the building, doesn't matter front of house or back of house, within a second these shutters hit the ground and it seals me into a lockbox. Yeah, it's locked in. Yeah, so I just have dreams that I'll be like running around like banging on the glass. But it's not going to explode.
Yeah, you would have to dump out all your alcohol for a month's production onto the floor, let it sit there for a week before it even get to any type of a vapor that'd be explosive.
Yeah, exactly. Because in liquid form, there's no way.
Yeah.
Couldn't you challenge that? Why would you challenge that? Have an chemical engineer?
Because we wanted our license.
Right,
If
yeah.
we don't do what they say, we don't get our license.
You need to get a code expert, code consultant, and he will talk to these guys and just say, you guys are just full of shit. Because if you tried saying that to the inspector, he'll just double what he just gave you.
If we, like, in oil and gas, we challenge the regulator laws.
All the
You
time.
have to have
Somebody who knows what they're talking about.
something like a process engineer do a dispersion model and say, no, it's not credible, you can't do it.
Yeah, that's how
We respect what they say. Like, I don't want to piss them off, right? We're trying to get a license that we don't have, and we got $750,000 worth of equipment being developed.
Right.
We're going to do what they say.
Yeah.
There's a test project in Alberta right now. I bet here it's probably a little bit more lax when you're building a distillery because they've got so many of them now compared to in Alberta where it's just starting. They don't even know what they want to do yet. They're a little nervous about this, right?
Yeah. When I started my distillery, I had to be in an F1 high hazard zone, and that's basically a fireworks manufacturer.
So your class 1 did one the whole way.
This side here is F1. What an F1 means is you have to have a 4-hour fire separation between you and any neighboring tenants. So, like I was mentioning, on the other side of my other wall there, I had other tenants. So I had to have 4-hour separation from the still room to that room.
Theoretically, if you were on a standalone building,
Yeah, it's better. But there's engineers in Vancouver when all the craft distilleries start popping up. they did a big study on this, and they said F1 is just totally ridiculous. You can now get into an F2 or an F3, which really brings your costs down for fire suppression and all this other crap that they're trying to pull on you. Brings your building costs way down.
Matt, for your building,
Somewhere you can get that study?
What's that?
Somewhere you can buy or get that study? Like if I want to use that
Yeah, I do have copies, I think, of the engineers' reports. And you can just show that, saying, hey, like, you know, this has already been studied, this is what they've come out with. But even here, like for the city, I had to hire an engineer to tell them that 2 + 2 = 4, because there's a 2-hour separation on this wall and another 2 hour on the next wall, right? So
I think it helps that one of our
that's the way it is. So this is an F1 in this side. In the retail store is an F2 rating.
We're not gonna just like waste, and you know what I mean. We're trying to make
So you
it so
could
that's we're the
give
first
me a copy of that.
distillery international.
Yeah, I'll have to look for it. I had it. I got it last year, so I'll have to dig it up.
Bringing people to business.
is there any more?
All right, we're gonna start filling the still. So again, check all your valves, check the drains. If you want to close the blue drain at the bottom there, just push it down. There you go. So the drain's closed. This valve's open. That valve's open. This is the biggest one that's going to cause a lot of headaches for you. If you don't have this valve open when you kick on that pump, it takes about 3 seconds for the pressure in this hose to build, and when it blows, this whole side would be just a mess. So you're going to be spending a day and a half washing everything down. So always check that valve.
Smell, taste.
Matt, you want to go find the still bucket for the tails? Yeah, for sure. Okay, so when we're pumping into the kettle, you want to take your tails from your last whiskey run or whatever run that you're doing. If you're doing a whiskey, is that back in? Yeah, the tails get dumped back into the kettle. So that's what he's doing right now. So one of you guys can watch that pail, and once it gets full, just dump it into the kettle.
Is that about your hearts and the core? Obviously, your heads and tails are what you wish to put your tails back in.
Yeah, the tails get reused. So I'll explain that how it gets separated. Okay, so all the valves are on. Someone want to turn on the waste pump switch on the panel? Okay, and I'm just going to turn this guy on.
So what's the purpose of the